I mean, literally, that's Jinshi's job. This is the first time I think he's actually handled his actual job since it was introduced to us. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Stoneface Reactions. I'm Theta, and we are back with another episode of the Apothecary Diaries. We come back, as usual, with the notes and a board. So let's go ahead and hit up the board first, where it is a very simple board changelog. I connected Seki Yu to Xiaolan and Shusui with a green line. Otherwise, nothing really changes there relationship-wise. Yeah, it's essentially everybody I have connected already. I guess we're just getting so long into the show now that essentially all the lines are already made. And if people just act the normal to one another, then nothing changes. Anyway, on to my notes. So new opening has those masks I can't help but associate with the Anbu from Naruto now. I guess they could also just be kabuki masks. I don't know. They do seem awful strange though, like they aren't a part of the opening at all. They almost seem like CG things that are put on the screen to hide something. I should also point out that Jinshi is the first shot standing in a way that makes half his robes and hair purple and the other half bluish. I know it could just be lighting or whatnot, but I had to write down that I noticed it. Which seemed to also be a difference between Jinshi being normal and Jinshi pretending to be Kausen. In the same shot, there is also an older figure looking away, but we get a giant obscured face shot where I think they have a mustache and a beard. The next shot is a woman with two finger claws. That same old man appears, face hidden by a mask. And then what is obviously Lulan with her face hidden as well. Even Maomao, the actual cat, gets its face hidden. I'm pretty sure Surei is the next one to appear, in hiding, peeking out from behind a mask, and a snake moving behind her. There's a shot of a pumpkin and a flower in darkness. Li Shu holding an orb. That picture of Anshi, the former emperor, drew. Or the other girl that got stuck in the rear palace. Pretty sure it's the Anshi picture, though. A hand holding a baby's hand. Pretty sure that's Li Hua's and her baby. A drawer with honeysuckle and a vial of honey. More blue roses. The hairpin Jinshi gave Maomao. A bunch of shots from previous episodes from different characters' first-person perspectives. Oddly, we do get a shot of Maomao with the mask in front of her face, and the shadow behind her implies that she's actually holding a mask, which is different from what I'm implying the characters previous in the episode looked like they were doing, but, maybe I'm just seeing it all wrong. A ton of yellow butterflies is apparently going to be a thing. Adu might be coming back, as we see her standing beside Li Shu. Lock-on's out with an army, I guess, and definitely seems to be a new character with him. Lumen in the opening now. Maomao gets pushed forwards by Xiaolan and Shusui while wearing her hairpin into the hands of two different people who grasp her by the hands. I'm indicating that mostly because she's got both hands forwards, right? And then each one of her hands is grasped by two hands of two different people. Which I don't know what it's going to represent. It could represent any myriad of things. I'm just pointing it out that I noticed. And that's how the opening ends. I will, of course, be referencing back to this note as things begin to unfold. Shusui makes their reappearance. First thing, in the outfit they had in the opening. Except something is wrong with her leg, plus they have a bunch of scarring on their left hand. I'm guessing that their failure to take out Jinshi was punished harshly. Either way, she seems to be getting a work assignment alongside a bunch of other eunuchs in the rear palace. And then, for no reason, we pivot to Lulan being informed about something, seemingly tying these two events together. Actually, maybe her injuries are because she's pretending to be a former slave that was rescued, as per the conversation about the new eunuchs that we had in the bathhouse. The rear palace has a bathhouse that can fit thousands. Each high-ranking concubine has their own exclusive bath in their pavilion. The bathhouse has small room-sized baths for mid-ranking concubines and the huge bath for the servant girls. The water at the bathhouse is very hot early in the morning and cools down gradually over time. Obviously, I'm just keeping those notes specifically to have them in case anything about this bathhouse comes up later. Say one of the eunuchs has a burnt hand or something like that early in the morning, and then we're like, oh, okay, must have been at the bathhouse. Or something like that, right? Literally anything could be anything these days, but I'm just trying to keep all of my clues in alignment. As per my theory that Shusui is Lulan, did she jump into the bathwater because she's used to the exclusive bath at the pavilion being the right temperature all the time? Or is she just clueless about these things or she's clueless completely about these things? I will say, when Shusui pulls out the comb to show what gifts the concubines can give, I immediately rewound the video to Lulan at the start to see if she had a comb like that in her hair. She did not. But then I guess, you know, if she was pretending to be one person, you wouldn't, take stuff from your other persona out with you. So, I guess I was just looking for something obvious. I'm wondering if hair removal is going to be a thing I'll need to keep an eye out for in this new arc. Is Sure going to try and hide herself as a concubine and never had a hair removal done or something? I don't know if they focused on it this episode as one of those smaller things. Well, it's not even a small thing. They focused on it for quite a while. I don't know if they focused on it to draw attention to it later, or if they only brought it up here to make it the thing for Liha later when we talk about her time in the monastery. I don't know. And of course, Lady Gakyo, looking to gain some advantage of having a set of ears in the bathhouse. She's still not off of my radar as a possible villain, despite me keeping track of a number of obvious villains already. Maomao says the Emperor has to spend time with Lulan, but we know the Emperor finds her confusing, and, as far as I can tell, she's next to the bottom when it comes to who the Emperor prefers. Obviously, Lishu is the bottom. It would just seem odd to me if she were pregnant, only by virtue of nothing indicating that anything has been going on over there, other than my whole Shusui thing. When we get the Lishu background scene, we see her father, an old man with a mustache and a beard, like I described in the opening. Gotta wonder if he'll be making a reappearance or something. Or, obviously, the old man in the opening could be somebody new. I don't know. Just trying to tie everything together with my first clues, doing an opening breakdown. And my final note here. Maybe the girl in the yellow outfit in the opening was Lishu and not Anshi, and this is actually going to be a problem between Anshi holding something against Lishu. Because you remember in that episode she was there staring at the picture. Oh, no, never mind. That was the hand picture that Jinshi saved that the former emperor drew, right? Or is it a new picture, and I'm remembering Anshi staring at the wall of the portrait that the former emperor drew that Maomao had to tear away from? That's my problem. That's just where memory's at. I can't remember which one of those two things that the yellow picture was. Because they've quite clearly left us like a hanging thread on that one, especially after we had the ghost lady, gonna try and kill all of you in this room, and it turns out to be somebody who died already. So I don't know. I do not know. Either way, though, those are all of my notes. So nothing left to do but hop on in and see what we get.
But before we get started,
Make sure that you hit the like button.
hit that subscribe button.
Comment down below to feed that algorithm.
On top of all that, if you want to watch more shows like this, unfiltered,
Uncensored.
And uncut.
as well as some early access stuff,
You can check it out over on the Patreon.
it's just $5 a month, but hey, no pressure.
There's zero pressure in order to do that. It's just a little bit of extra support, and it would be greatly appreciated.
Obviously, I've brought this up a number of times. It takes the new openings a while to work on me, and I have no real thoughts about this opening yet. I think the third opening and the first opening are still my favorites. I don't know at this point. I just want the first opening back because it's the first opening I've seen of the show. But when it comes to that, I think the first opening was kind of weak on visuals. I mean, it was good for the dancing and thing, but I mean, it didn't set up anything like every other opening kind of does. And the third opening, the music really did just start building up on me. And it did kind of have a bunch of hints, though I can't say how strong they were. They don't pay off for anything. And at this point, I can't really remember much about the second opening. And this song just doesn't hit as strongly, I think, as the first and the third. But like I said, that's just recency bias. I'm not exactly sure if it's just my want for the last opening again, right? I think that's something I talked about a lot during the previous episodes. But yeah, I mean, like I said, I'll give it time. Not instantly writing it off. I thought about writing a note about it, that she was going to have a problem with Lishu, but she didn't seem like instantly put off by it while she's sitting there.
一度jinshi様に相談されてみてはいかがでしょう。あんなことを聞いて首を突っ込むなという方が無理だ。マオマオ。案の定、お鉢が回ってきたか。お呼びでしょうか。
I mean, technically she works for Jinshi more than she does Lady Gyokyo. She's being lent out to Gyokyo.
もらって忘れていたが、先日の狩りでとんでもない秘密を知ってしまったんだ。高級にいる男は皇帝以外は皆宦官。しかし、jinshi様はそうではなかった。そこそこ立派なカエルをお持ちなのだ。
I mean, to be fair, the guy next to him isn't either.
今日はどんなお願いかしら。
とある妃の部屋で幽霊が出るようで。
あら、ま、おいたわしいわ。どの妃かしら。お見舞いに行かなければ。玉葉様、そのお体で外へ出るのはいけません。
I mean, everyone's already talking about it. We learned that from the bathhouse.
本人、あなたとマオマオ、二人で行くのはどうかしら。
玉葉妃、これは内密のことですので、見舞いはお控えください。そういうわけなので、また返していただけますか。
貸してならあげるわよ。
Again, this is just another element of...
またこのやりとりか。
I really have to wonder what people think Jinshi is. If they think they have the authority to kind of override him.
戻った後、この娘に何を聞いても無駄ですよ。口止めはしっかりいたしますゆえ。では、そういうことで。
This is like that episode where he tried to force feed her in her room before. I mean, they've come a long way towards being closer together, but it's still inappropriate touch.
狩りで何かあったの？カエルのせいです。カエル？墓まで持っていく秘密の代償に、ご応は安かったかもしれない。お待ちしておりました。
I mean, this is still a house full of horrible people.
それともガオシュン様も実は宦官ではないのだろうか。
Hopefully you don't have to find it out the same way.
考えても仕方のないことだな。
Go figure Kunan turns out to be the best of the servants in this household.
早速幽霊が出るという
No,
湯殿に
household
案内して
pavilion.
いただけますか。
わかりやすすぎないか。上級妃の立場でこれだと心配になる。
こちらです。手前が脱衣所で。
I guess Jinshi has no say in the staffing.
リーシュ様はこちらの物置の窓から。
Maybe that's why Adu is coming back to take control of that shit.
どんな人影が見えたのですか。
それは。まだそんなことを言ってらっしゃるのですか。何かの見間違いでしょ。リーシュ様はそうやって皆の気を引きたがるのですわ。
Okay, I feel like this is gonna be Lee House place all over again. This lady wants to be the concubine, and she's putting Lee Shu through the fucking shredder for it.
元毒味役だとそんなこともわからないのかしら。申し訳ありません。
口ぶりからすると、あの偉そうな次女は元次女頭か。毒味役にその座を奪われて、日常的に嫌がりたくなるほど悔しいのだろう。
The way she was holding herself, I thought she actually was. I thought Kunan actually got taken down a notch.
そうは思われませんか。
そうですね。しかし妃の話を聞くのも私の務めです。その仕事を取らないでいただけますか。
はい。
少し喉が渇くな。
I mean, why not, right? Diplomacy your way through the problem.
リーシュ妃、詳しくお聞かせ願えますか。
リーシュ妃が萎縮しないように人払いしたのか。
あれはいつも通りに湯あみを終えた時でした。
I mean, as it stands, it sounds more like you have a problem with a peeping Tom,
次女たちはいつも熱いお湯を用意するから。
which is sick, considering who was talking.
入るのが日課でした。うすうす気づいていたけど、次女たちは私のことをあまり好ましく思っていないようです。お風呂は尼寺にいた時から一人で入っていました。着替えだけカナンに、次女頭に手伝ってもらっていました。
Again, these ladies in the waiting need to get their asses kicked out to the street.
水をあげたんです。そしたら窓は閉まっているのにゆらゆらとカーテンが揺れていて、白い顔が笑いながら踊っていたのです。
It kind of reminds me of that one dancing lady on the wall from, like, was it episode 2?
周りに誰かいたということは考えられませんか。
近くにはカナンしかいませんでした。カナンも同じ幽霊を見たのです。
正体を確かめようと近づいてみたら、幽霊は消えていて、カーテンは何事もなかったように動かなくなっていました。
I mean, legitimately, my first thought is smoke and mirrors.
風が通らない部屋。しかしカーテンは揺れていた。
One of the most famous early magic tricks performed that way. Somebody underneath the stage and their projection on a mirror and light.
別棟になっていて、湯上がりにくつろげる空間がある。普通湯殿の隣に物置なんて作るだろうか。向こうの部屋はもともと物置だったんですか。
あ、いえ、前は。
ではどうして物置に。
それは。
Somebody died in that room? Is that obviously going to be the story we're going with?
わかると思いますが。
Also weird to open up a window to a warehouse to cool yourself off.
ああ、なるほど。
ひどくカビてますね。翡翠宮の次女たちなら原因を追求してカビが生えない工夫くらいするだろうが。
Yeah, your workers fucking suck around here.
難しいだろう。結果、物置にしてごまかしたと。もしかすると土台から腐っているのかもしれない。この建物は他より古いんですか。
You think they would use that as like leverage against the servants.
数年でここまで
Because technically they're allowing the
霊視費
destruction of
こ
the
のカーテン
emperor's
が揺れていた
property,
と
right?
言っていた風呂場を見せてください。あった。この穴の先は高級の水路につながっているはずだ。
Shoot, now I can't remember what we talked
も
about
し
with
か
the
して幽霊
waterways.
が出た日、間違えて風呂の線を抜きませんでしたか？
なんでわかるの？
やっぱり締め切った窓、揺れるカーテン、そして
Did she see her own reflection in the steam?
推理が正しければ踊る幽霊の正体は
We've talked a lot about the waterways before. I even took
ダオ
pictures
シュン様、
of the
この
map,
棚を
but
動かすのを手伝
nothing
って
ever
いただ
comes
け
from
ま
it.
すか？
はい。
これはひどいな。
ええ、ひどく腐っています。床が歪んで隙間ができている。だとすると、この下に水路が通っているか確認できませんか？
すぐに混合球の設計図を用意しましょう。
I think it's probably the image that I took a screenshot of before, but
ありがとうございま
couldn't
す。
figure out anything to do with it.
やはり床の下に水路が通っています。湯がこの下を通れば、湯気で床や壁が腐敗しやすく
Vapor
な
and
り
steam,
ます。
basically the same
そ
thing.
して湯気がこの隙間から上がって風を起こし、カーテンを揺らしたのです。
じゃあ、あの丸い顔は何だったのよ？
あれか。
それはその動機を大事なものだから大切に扱ってくれる？
わかり
Wouldn't
ました。
said that out loud only because your own servants are fucking
以
assholes.
前はよく使ってたの。今は特使が送ってきた鏡があるから。
特使の鏡は針製で同郷の何倍もよく映る。しまい込むのも仕方ない。それにしても毎日磨かれているのですね。
ええ、母様が残してくれた鏡だから。
何の変哲もないただの同郷に見えるが、リーシュ様、せっかくなので久々に使われてみて
Again,
は
I'm
いか
still
がでしょう？
guessing that she saw her own reflection.
使うって
明るいところで使うとより見やすいと思います。こちらを向けるとよく映るやもしれません。
Was that your mother's?
なるほど、こう映るのか。
Did your mother's reflection burn into the copper?
魔境というそうです。本物を見るのは初めてですが、
魔境？
投光管と呼ばれることもある跳ね返した光が絵や文字になる摩訶不思議な鏡です。作る際に鏡面に凹凸を施して絵や文字を写すそうです。かなりの技術が必要だと養父から聞いたことがあります。
Uh-oh, we're invoking Lu Min again.
磨かれた鏡
Anything, anytime Lu Min's name comes up with a thing, it's something to keep track of.
隙間から湯気が上がり、カーテンが揺れる。これはいろいろな偶然が重なって生まれた幽霊だったわけだ。
この顔、死んだ母様に似ている気がする。
What'd I say?
母様、この鏡を使わなくなっちゃったから怒ったのかな？だから出てきたのかな？
偶然が重なっただけです。
踊るのが好きだったって聞いたの。私を産んだ後、体を壊して踊れなくなって、そのまま死んじゃったから。
Can we stop making Li Shu sad?
だって踊ってたのかな？
This girl needs a fucking win.
本来ならもっとのびのびとしていい年頃だ。母親の形見を毎日磨くことで高級での日々を慰めていたのかもしれない。母親を思う気持ちはよくわからないけれど、リーシュ妃にとっては
I mean, would she really have? She doesn't even really have fucking comfort here. Someone's about to get cracked in the face.
一見妃を敬う次女のようなたしなめ方だが、本性が端
I
々に
hope.
現れている。
I hope she gets cracked in the
今
fucking
更の
face.
猫かぶりだ。
あら、その鏡、まだ持っていらしたのですか？徳子様にいただいた鏡があるのだから、これはもういらないでしょ？誰かに貸ししてはいかがでしょう？何ですか？
I mean, good, she's standing up for herself.
それはリーシュ妃にとって大切なものです。よく確認もせず取るのはいかがなものかと思います。
You gotta say, don't be fucking diplomatic here. Bring this lady down a peg.
これも貸しされたものでしょうか。たとえ貸しされたものであっても、上級妃の紋がついたものを一次女風情が身につけるとは分不相応と思わなかったのですか？
Finally.
次女たちからないがしろにされていたことは、jin氏様も知っていただろう。
These people need to get taken fucking down a peg.
リーシュ妃のメンツを潰すことになるからだ。しかし物的証拠があれば釘を刺すことができる。
今後は自分の立場をわきまえない行動はやめていただきたい。
I mean, she was a fucking idiot. Essentially stole a thing and then wore it.
光栄。
あの人じゃない？素敵。
また新入りを覗きに来たのか。
Oh, the hair. That was definitely her. Our assassin is the handsome eunuch.
はい。
もう宦官は作られないんだから調べなくていいのに。
そういえば、宦官ってどうやって高級に入るのですか？
手術を受けてだよ。
そうじゃなくて、どうやって宦官だと証明するのですか？
ああ、昔は証明書があれば入れたけど、いろいろ不正があ
You'd
って
think
ね。
they would just, like, you know,
今は触診だよ。
show them.
掴むんですか？
あけすけすぎるよ、嬢ちゃん。
Yeah.
不正がないように部署の違う3人の官に触診されて、なければ入れるんだよ。
それって初回だけですか？
一応出入りするたびにやってるよ。
宦官でなければ高級に入れるのは皇帝とその血族のみ。とすればjin氏様を。
A person of status who doesn't have to be checked.
宦官といえば
Also Gao Shun for some reason.
宦官の話は知ってるかい？
ああ、シャオランとシスイが話してたな。噂には聞きましたが、30人ほど入ったとか。
そうそう、若くて綺麗どころが多いからみんな浮かれちゃってね。この間は風呂炊きの準備中に下級妃に絡まれて大変そうだったよ。
わざわざ確認しに
I guess Yuri's just gotten lucky that she hasn't crossed paths with Maomao, or
そのうち話す。
I guess Maomao's the only one who recognizes her.
逆におかしくなっていますよ。シャオマオも干からびた耳捨ても見るような目をしていました。
うっさい。わかってる。
早めに決めてしまわないと面倒なことになりますよ。
さっさとこちら側に引き入れろというのだろう。だが、軍師殿が出張ってくるぞ。
毒を持って毒を制してください。
大尉、官羅官。数年前にジ
You
ッ
get
プとイブ
promoted?
テから家督を奪い、ラの家の主となった男は、皇帝すら一目置く存在だ。大尉という立場でありながら、どこの派閥にも入らず、のらりくらりと立ち回る。多くの者が出る杭として撃とうとしても、その誰もが、やけど程度では済まない痛
I mean, not bad for a guy who can't tell faces apart.
あの男の頭の中はどうなっているのかわからない。むやみに関わるなという暗黙の了解が宮廷内に
And
できている。
as I said before, according to my board, related to Lumen. Another Lumen connection.
本当の話をしたい。なぜ今の立場にいるのか、なぜ本当の姿を隠しているのか、あいつに知ってほしい。だがその後、どんな反応をするのか。
I honestly do not think she will care, other than being freaked out about your position. So I guess she will care.
女官が多すぎる。衣装が派手すぎて高級の景観を損なう。などといった内容です。
いつもと変わらんな。
こちらは新しい案件ですが。
新入りの宦官に色目を使う女官がいると、あらかた予想できたかな。
ええ、彼らには力仕事を任せています。おいおい適性を見て他の部署に移す予定です。
I mean, literally, that's Jinshi's job. This is the first time I think he's actually handled his actual job since it was introduced to us.
一応形として見ておく必要があるだろうな。
はい。
面倒だな。
諦めてください。白い帯をつけているものがそうです。
I don't think Jinshi ever met her, though.
元奴隷たちは自由になったとて、普通の民のようにうまく
I don't remember. It's one of the elements that's slipped in my mind.
ある意味適した方策と言える。
Oh no, wait. Yeah, he did see her in passing with the other court ladies.
左腕をどうかしたのか。
ひどい折檻を受けたようで、体の左側が痺れているとのことです。体中に傷があって肌を見せたがらないとか。
I mean, to be fair, Suri was knowledgeable enough with medicines and shit to do that to themselves.
ええ、頭はいいらしく、女官たちへの気配りがうまいのです。
なんだ。
あなたが言えることですか。
Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe it's not Sure. I'm like 99% sure it's Sure, though.
まだ慣れぬだろうが、いずれ適した仕事を割り振る。しばし待たれよ。
どうしてくれんだ。妃の上級費のための氷だぞ。
Oh no. Not Jalan? And she was holding what seems to be a gift from the bathhouse. Something that I didn't mention before was that when Maomao was helping Li Shu at the bathhouse, Jalan is off to the side with the other ones, still helping the courtesan that they were with before. But she like looks off and like distantly at Maomao, like, oh no, I'm missing something, or you know, there's a look to her. I didn't bring it up on my notes because like it doesn't seem like anything pans for it, or that it's something that's building up, and not specifically something that's there. So, but you know, I brought up Zalan at the beginning, like when she first started disappearing from the show, because Maomao is moving on from being kidnapped to actual storylines, and we don't need the rumor mill anymore. And I was disappointed because she was like an adorable, fun character. I don't want bad stuff to happen to her. And, you know, of everyone, she's the least protected. Obviously, I think one of these girls is Lulan, and the other one's Maomao. No one's looking out for Xiaolan. I mean, obviously, in our final shot here, probably not going to see it due to my editing, but remember the final shot there was. That's Lumen. Lumen, who's banished from the rear palace. I mean, that's got to be Lumen. Coming back. Also, you know, obviously from the face, but also the cane because they broke his leg. for his fucking mistake that was on purpose. Sorry, that threw me. The Lumen part. I was gonna say that it seems like nothing's gonna come of it, that Xiaolan's gonna get away scot-free, because how do we go from her standing there in distress to them running around having fun in what seems to be Maomao's warehouse? Also, that was a hairpin that Xiaolan had, and as I think I mentioned before, there's a hairpin in the opening. So, and we just covered the hairpin aspect with the Lishu pavilion, Diamond Pavilion, I think that is. So that must imply that she did a good enough job on one of the courtesans that they are giving her a job. So after her 6-month run is over, she's to be here again anyway, or is that supposed to be representative of the family of the courtesan? And then she'll, obviously, the next episode will figure that out. Point is that I noticed. I guess the worry therein, though, is that the courtesan that she's been trying to get in with may be the courtesan that she just ruined the ice for, and thus bringing an end to all of her efforts. I don't know. It's just the element that Lumen is coming back. And obviously that's got to be the important part of next episode. Maybe that's what the ice is for. But also, it's going to be a two-parter. Not a two-parter. It's going to be dual episode thing. We're going to cover one thing for a bit, and I feel like, I don't know, the fact that the episode's called Ice is what's getting me. Either way, like I said, I don't want anything bad to happen to Zhulan. I essentially called it, though. I said steam and mirrors, or smoke and mirrors, which turned into steam, and there was a mirror, and it's just about the airflow in the room due to the structural damage due to the mold. I essentially called it right. It's the heartfelt element, though, about her feeling like her mother was coming down on her because she effectively thinks that she ruined her mother's life. It's very sad. Again, Lishu deserves a win, considering what she had to put up with the first time when she was brought here. Then got sent to a monastery and then brought here again, and it is just... She is an example of a person in privilege who has no benefits of the privilege that they appear to have. Her life sucks, and I feel bad for her all the goddamn time. Well, anyway, we of course still have Maomao's notes, so let's go ahead and hop on into Maomao's notes and see what this episode's going to be about. I'm going to guess mold.
Maomao no Hitorigoto.
Well, I never guess these things right.
Maomao? Maomao?
何でしょうか、jinshi様。名を呼ばれているだけなのだが、違和感しかない。
Or let's call him for the cat. Nope, never mind.
混合級での一件、お見事であった。
とんでもございません。元次女頭をコテンパンに諌めたjinshi様の方が多い。
Yeah, we gotta get all those fucking ladies in waiting in order.
しかし、あの魔境というものは実に摩訶不思議な品であったな。
ここでマオマオの豆知識。銅鏡の裏面に投影したい像を極限まで深く彫り込むと、表面に凹凸ができる。凹凸に光が乱反射することで、裏面に彫られた像が浮かび上がる。高度な技量と根気がないと作れない代物。
I mean, I'll admit, I've never heard any of that before.
信仰上異端とされた人たちが教祖を掘って隠し持っていたという話も聞いたことが。
お、姫事のある者の努力は実に凄まじいな。
姫事といえば、jinshi様はどうやって触診をかいくぐっているのだ。
I mean, it implies that the people at the gates or the person doing the inspection knows.
I
mean, unless Gaoshan's supposed to be doing the inspection and Gaoshan himself doesn't.
なんだ、言いたいことがあるならはっきりと申せ。
いえ、失礼いたします。 いつ揉め事に発展してもおかしくはない。やはり麻酔薬は大量に作っておこう。
麻酔薬？おい、何の話だ？お、待て、マモ！
次回、アイス。シャオランが窮地に立たされる。
Okay, doesn't give us any more real context into what's going to happen next episode. And obviously, the anesthetic thing, I think, is a running joke. Because she says if Jinshi ever really gets caught, she'll cut it off herself. So I have to think that anesthetic is the running joke there for us. Obviously, Jinshi has no fucking idea what's happening. Or rather, what she's talking about, because she's never said it out loud. So yeah. Again, most interesting thing for me next episode is clearly Lumen. Technically, 2 connections to Lumen this episode. I'm including the lock-on element because, technically lock-on's connected to Lumen, but the element that the next time on shows him coming, and for, not all, half of Season 1 and the beginning of this season, I've been saying Lumen is connected to something big, and I'm just waiting for them to show us what that something big is. Well, he's coming back, so... And not for nothing, he got banished. He is not in Anshi's good graces. So how the hell... maybe I'm reading it wrong. Maybe he's not coming back to the Rear Palace. Maybe we're seeing him showing up at the Pleasure District. And I'm just conflating the 2 shots together. Or maybe that's how Xiaolan really does get into big shit. And the only job she can find now is Lumen vis-a-vis Maomao. I don't know. Obviously, I'm going to be keeping an eye out one way or the other. This is, of the shows I'm watching right now, top 3 easy. Of the shows I'm watching solo, top 3 easy. I was thinking earlier today, I'm almost afraid that this might be the final season. Again, I don't know how the season's supposed to end. I don't know how long the manga is going, if the manga's still going. Obviously, don't tell me. I'm not asking for that information. It's just the element of the worry I have. There might not be a season after this. Because, I started Season 1 when Season 2 was just around the corner. So I've had 2 seasons straight. And when I finish this, there might not be anything. And I just keep thinking to myself, well, maybe I just Google it right now. Is there going to be a Season 3 of Apothecary Diaries? And the worry that I have if I did something like that is the first answers that would typically come up if you Google something like that is, well, as you know, the Season 2 ended with this, and fans are wondering if blah, 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 blah. It's like, no, I don't want to know that. Don't tell me that. So... I'm still only 5-year wait for Maiden Abyss Season 3. So who the hell knows? I am, a couple of years now? 86 Season 2? Anyway, I'm clearly on a ramble now. So I think we're just going to go ahead and wrap up for this episode. Very excited to see what happens to Xiaolan next episode. And of course, again, Lumen. So until then, once again, I have been Theta, this has been Stoneface Reactions, and we will catch you next time. Bye-bye.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching another Stoneface Reactions. If you have an idea of another video we could go ahead and watch, go ahead and put it in the comments down below, and we'll add it to the wheel. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let us know what you thought about this video, what parts you liked. And until then, we'll see you next time. Is this too goofy?